Uh, all right. Timestamp. Probably 5:00. Oh. All right. Timestamp. Okay, I had that accidentally on. Um, Hopefully it's not too loud. Anyways, yeah, timestamp 5:10 for the people that are gonna watch this after the live stream. It is currently one. It's currently 1 in the morning, September 17, 2017. It's kind of hitting that red bar right there occasionally, so I'm just gonna lower it by 3 decibels. Let me just, come on, there we go. And so as what happened to the first Time Squad video, I had this list of things to talk about. Now, what's unique about this one is the list is pretty much kind of like a summary of the first one. So if you really wanted to, I would recommend you watch the first one. However, this list right here, it provides a good summary. Now, after I read this list, there's a much longer, or nearly as long, which is found on the forums, and that's what we're going to do after I review this stuff. Now, after the live stream, I'm going to, actually, I made a mistake. I need to go start recording right now at the same time, hopefully. Okay, so it's recording and streaming at the same time. So after the live stream, I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to use the live stream, and I'm going to go edit it down. I'm likely going to go speed up my voice, so it's like 1.5 times faster, and not just that, I'm going to trim out the parts that are not needed, and I'm going to try my best to condense it to at least 20 minutes long, hopefully shorter. So for the people who don't have that attention span of watching an hour-long video, they can always 2 times speed the video. The shortened video is catered for them. So again, we have this list of stuff, and then after I go through this list, I'm going to go to the forums as well as the Twitter. Have I logged out? Okay, I've logged out. No, I've not logged out. Okay. Yeah, so 1:02 in the morning is not the best time to go live stream. However, it's the only time that I can possibly live stream. If there's a will, there's a way. So let's go talk about the list, and we're going to go back with the first one right here. Share, if you want to go with me, just go to my YouTube channel or just type in potential Time Squad update, Fusion Fall Retro, and you're going to go find it. So I don't really think it's going to be like, this live stream is going to be like 30 minutes or an hour long, because I'm going to do a summary as well as do the second half of this video. Anyways, we have a lot of, why am I making a part 2 of a potential Time Squad update? Now, the reason for that is because ever since I made this video back on August 22nd, it's been a long time. It's been, it's definitely been several weeks since I last made one, and since then there's been a lot of teasers and a lot of information and a lot of interesting insights that could potentially be included inside of this potential Time Squad update. Hopefully, maybe I can look like a prophet and get a lot of these predictions right. Now, the Larry 3000 mission. Oh, and in part 1, unfortunately, this was during the time when I did not buy that upgraded mic, so there's going to be a lot of distorted sound. Now, okay, things we finished talked about. Okay, talk about the upgraded mic. Okay, Time Run Amok Part 4 for Who Gives It Out. So there's an interesting photo that I was talking about, and where is it? So here's this photo way back I don't know when. It's been a very long time. Maybe I can go find it on inside of the Discord server. It's been pinned here, development database. Larry, Living Like Larry, dev blogs, legacy. And here's the post from, oh, this is not the one, but okay. Larry, Living Like Larry, Larry. Okay, here's some artwork. This is not the one that I'm looking for, but it is relevant. Okay, here we go. And this is kind of like what I mean when, like, after I do the live stream, I can cut away that the part where I'm searching up for the stuff in order to go save time. So we have this dev blog entry from August 1st, 2015, posted by Dogon McBanana, and thankfully Brian, it's not me, but another guy coincidentally named Brian, archived everything. So as we can see here, we have Larry 3000, and he says new missions for level 8 plus. So this kind of already right off the bat, if there is going to be a time squad update, the first missions are going to be level 8. And just going back with Dracula. Dracula was another early legacy idea, which was shown, I think, in 2015, when like the early version of Fusion Fall Legacy was actually what Retro appears to be right now. I think like 2015, 2016, Fusion Fall Legacy was pretty much Fusion Fall Retro until they decided to make Fusion Fall Legacy into its completely different one. So the one that we see right here, Dracula, as well as for Larry 3000, these were plans for Fusion Fall Legacy 2015-2016, which more aligns with Fusion Fall Retro. So as you can see here, the reason why I bring this up and why I'm linking it with Dracula is because it's an early legacy idea which actually managed to appear inside of the game. Now, with Larry 3000, we can probably make an educated guess that these missions right here are also going to be inside. So we can expect to have One Bad Larry, Time Run Amok, and Living Like Larry, and Automatic Assumptions Part 1 of 4. Now, what's interesting to notice here, well, there's a lot of things that's interesting, is that Time Run Amok has 4 parts. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, where is the 4th part going to be located? Some people are probably thinking that it's going to be located with Buck Todd Russell, or probably the Powerpuff Girls, or probably Coop, or even probably Dexter or Mandark. Now, if you just continue with me, I'm going to go explain that eventually. And another thing right here is Automatic Assumptions, so part 1 of 4. So like Larry's going to be the one giving you the first mission. Who's going to be the ones that are going to go give you the 3 other missions. Now, but speaking about missions, when the Flapjack update came out, so again, let's go to YouTube, Fusion Fall Infinite Possibilities, Fusion Fall Infinite Possibilities, Flapjack. I made a video about this. Nautical Nonsense. There was another one that was, okay, here it is. So another potential mission that we can expect to see within this potential next update would have to be another nano mission. Not a nano mission, but like a nano project mission. If you can remember, during the Flapjack update way back around March, we had another mission from that dude, Hello from Spider Monkey, and hopefully I can go find the mission here. It's somewhere around the beginning. Oh, here we go. it's literally at the beginning. So we have what is it? I think, yeah, the Jungle Outpost game, part 5 of 5. So another thing that we can predict is once Larry 3000 comes into the game, and once Buck Todd Russell comes into the game, and perhaps Autoworth comes into the game, we can potentially have 3 more nano project missions. Now, there might be a fourth one, which might be related to Belladonna, or in this case, with the thumbnail that we have right now, it might be related to the candy pirate version of Belladonna. And as you can see here, she looks like she's at Candy Cove, or in the background you also see Goat's Junkyard. So right here we can potentially predict that Buttercup is now relocated to Candy Cove. And again, just stay with me, I'll go explain the potential significance of this. Now, okay, where is Time Run Amok? Okay, I talked about that. Okay, now I'm not going to, this list is not ordered in order of importance. Okay, hopefully some sort of time back with the wormhole mission from the future. Now, if you can remember, hopefully LEGO Megazord, Fusion Fall, messages from the past, or messages from to the past? Oh, messages across time. Yeah, so credit to LEGO Megazord for this video right here. If you can remember this mission from Mandark when you were inside of the future, it was messages across time. I think it would be better if I can. So where's that wormhole? There were these massive wormholes that you had to go visit, right? So you have this wormhole here in Peachtree Commons. We had another wormhole at here at Sector V Hero Square, and we had another wormhole. Okay, we're looking for that other one, and we have another wormhole here at Pokey Oaks South, and there's a fourth wormhole which is really massive and located at Genius Grove. And the purpose of this mission was for yourself to go send these messages to Ben, to Dexter, to Mojo Jojo, and I believe Double D. Now, I bring this up because when you're finally inside of the past, there's actually no world mission that references these wormholes, at least to my knowledge. Now, it would be really cool, since we're dealing with time travel and these are wormholes that you literally send to the future, it would be very nice to actually, on my live stream is pin tab, it would be really nice if where did the video go? It would be really nice if, yeah, since we're dealing with time travel, right, and it would be really nice if we can actually have a world mission that ties back in with these wormholes. Look at the Twitter post, that's for later, that's a lot later. Let me go put this down here. Larry 3000 mission, we talked about that as well. The role of Time Squad, okay, I talked about the wormhole. And another important mission that can potentially be related with Time Squad would be that mission, that guide mission that you had to do called Bring Me the Head of Larry 3000. So let's just very quickly go to the Fusion Fall Wiki, world missions, and let's look into the dialogue. Hopefully someone has archived the dialogue. If not, we can just go to, so we have messages across time, and oh, the other one was a guide mission. Okay, so it's not a world mission, it's a guide mission. Guide missions right here. So you have this guide mission from Mandark. Bring me the head of Larry 3000. Level 4 Mandark, Genius Grove, the future. Find the robot called Larry 3000. Let's go read the dialogue here. You must speak with Mandark in Genius Grove right away. He has the ability to repair the broken time machine. Without his aid, we will be unable to send you back to the past. Be warned, Mandark is rather rude. You must find a time-traveling robot called Larry 3000. I would inquire about his location myself, but that would that would be a waste of my superior intellect. Yeah, number 5 remembers that crazy robot. He got all blown up in the Battle of Tech Square. We gave his parts to Eddie. That kid in the cul-de-sac talked to him. So there's a significance with what number 5 says here, and this is someone pointed out in the forums, and it's regarding the Battle of Tech Square. Now, at the beginning, when you first create a new character, when you're inside of the tutorial, or at the ending of the tutorial, you're at Tech Square, and then Tech Square collapses. So, if the future is inside of the far future, it means that Larry 3000 is still alive in the past. I think the thread best explains it. That person best explains it well. What's it called? What's the mission called? Bring me the head. Bring me the head. Yeah, this guy. So credit to this guy, Fox Fiend, for this observation. So this whole thing is really not confusing if you read the story from Bring Me the Head of Larry 3000. This is the direct line from the mission from number 5. So let's have some context. I remember Larry having problems with his head in some Time Squad episodes. Like, he can use teleport button inside his own head. It's like, not more like Larry's body can be in other places. Okay. Yeah, so we read this line, and then you hear from Eddie, "Sir, I remember that junky robot. He was worthless. I threw him into the salvage yard. Maybe you can still find some of his parts. Go ask Samurai Jack." So basically, Larry only got blown to pieces very recently in the future during the fight at Tech Square. Without Coop, they just gave his parts to Eddie instead, who could not care any less, and just threw his parts away. So the story actually works perfectly with Larry getting repaired in the past by Coop, since he was in the perfect functional condition in the future until the battle at Tech Square begins. So in other words, Larry is alive in the past, and Larry's parts are scrambled around possibly Goat's junkyard. Now, I've never watched a single episode of Megas XLR. However, reading from the comments on the forums and doing a very brief read at his Wikipedia page on Wikia, Coop's job is interestingly enough repairing robots. That's what he does outside of fighting inside of a magic, outside of fighting with a technological giant, which is Megas. So yeah. So and I replied stating, I just basically summarized what he stated. So okay, let's put this back into here. The role of Time Squad. Okay, let's talk about the role of Time Squad. So at the beginning of in part one of the potential Time Squad video, I stated that I never watched a single episode of Time Squad. However, my Discord server and I, the link is inside of the description, we actually watched every single episode of Time Squad together, and in order for ourselves to get immersed with the material. And it's actually very helpful, and there's a lot of very useful information that we can potentially see inside of the next update. Now, what was I talking about? Yeah, so the role of Time Squad. So Time Squad Wiki by Larry. Think of time as a section of rope. And in fact, you can watch this inside of YouTube. Let me go. I can't show you the video, but I'm just going to show you that it exists. Larry 3000 Time Squad rope. I think that's what you have to go type in. No, but if you go to Kiss Anime, not that one, Kiss Cartoon, and if you go to the beginning of episode season 1. At the beginning of Napoleon the Conqueror, it's one of the first 5 episodes. first 5 episodes, or like first 3, Larry talks about how time works. Think of time as a section of rope. As Earth moves forward through time, more rope is formed. Recently, it was discovered that as time grew older, it began to decay, or unravel, as it were. And this disintegration of the past begins to create disastrous results in our future. Let's say that because of this instability in the past, the dodo bird never becomes extinct, and because of this, a young Henry Ford is attacked by one of these filthy creatures. He is so traumatized by the experience that he never invents the auto assembly line or the Model T. Without this primitive automobile as a jumping off point, we in the future are suddenly without our fancy solar-powered hover cars. That's why we have to constantly repair the past and keep our future strong. So it's better for him to go show you. And here's a quote from Buck Todd Russell, one of the 3 main characters of the show. You see, history is very unstable. Anyway, it's a time cop's job to monitor history and make sure nothing changes so that the future stays the way it is. Perfect. A time cop's motto is enforcing the past to protect our future. So the line enforcing the past to protect our future, in almost every episode they always say that one. And I say right here, Time Squad's job is to go back in time and make sure that important historical figures such as Albert Einstein are supposed to be doing what they're well known for and not doing silly things such as being a car salesman. That actually happened. If you watched all of the Time Squad episodes, they went back to Albert Einstein, and he was, interestingly enough, he was a seller in Texas selling cars, and that's actually my very favorite one. And I stated, perhaps when this Time Squad update arrives, the biographies that we see here are going to be altered. The Buttercup storyline has been altered. Belladonna is not supposed to be Belladonna. She's supposed to be Buttercup. It's up to Time Squad to make her realize she's not supposed to be a rock star, but supposed to be a superhero. Now, I kind of, in a way, predicted this because, again, with the thumbnail that we have for this video, and actually, I'm going to go temporarily with display capture. I need to, let's see. Let's go to Twitter. Okay. Okay, so we have this tweet that was posted 14 hours ago, or at least at the time of this live stream. And before that, we have this biography, which I'll come back to in a bit, where it talks about these biographies of Demongo, which sounds normal, right? Spawned from the depth of the pit of hate. Demongo, the Soul Collector, is Aku's most powerful minion. And we have Coop right here. Coop's a whiz at modifying mechanical junk, so probably Larry 3000. And Blossom right here, another ordinary biography. Bubbles, another ordinary biography. Now, what's strange is that after getting her memories back, Peanut Buttercup, the candy pirate, returned to her rightful position as captain of the Sweet Revenge. There's nothing she loves more than pillaging piles and piles of candy from kids the world over. Wait, what? So again, going back to Time Squad and what they do, if you watch the shows, so like when they go back, for example, bringing up that Albert Einstein example, they do something completely bizarre and completely different. So Albert Einstein is a physicist inside of Time Squad. When they went back, time got corrupted and Albert Einstein became a car salesman. Another example would have to be what's another good one? I actually have notes for this. Let me just turn off the display capture again. I have notes because like a thing that I like to go do when I like to when I watch a show is that I actually rate it. Okay. So open this up in a notepad. Okay. So I actually have So okay, actually, one of my favorite episodes was with Sigmund Freud, and they went back. They got to see Confucius, Sigmund Freud, Leonardo da Vinci, Julius Caesar, Robin Hood, Abraham Lincoln, Blackbeard, Beethoven. Oh yeah, okay. So one of my favorite ones that they actually did was with Beethoven, and instead of Beethoven composing his grand songs that we all love and appreciate and will stand through the test of time, we have Beethoven as a wrestler. That's completely different of what he does. Another one would have to be, oh yeah, the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers are the ones responsible for let me go see. The Wright brothers are the ones responsible for inventing the airplane. Meanwhile, in Time Squad, they actually don't invent the airplane. They're actually much more focused, doing circus performances. So as you can see, they do a lot of very they do a lot of very different things of what they're supposed to do. And in terms of my personal life, I kind of feel like these people. Like when I think of Albert Einstein, he's supposed to be a physicist, and like I feel like I'm inside of a different timeline. Am I supposed to be doing YouTube, or am I supposed to be doing something else? But that's for a different time. So it's very odd. Yeah, again, we have those ordinary biographies, and now we have this completely different version, and it kind of makes you wonder, why is Buttercup at Candy Cove, and what happened to Belladonna, right? Because in Fusion Fall Legacy, we have Belladonna inside of there. In fact, there's going to be a nano for Belladonna, so I'm kind of wondering, this is completely different. So it makes you kind of wonder. And another thing that this kind of ties back with Flapjack. Now, if you can remember, Flapjack's missions were planned to be were deleted. So these missions right here, around August 16, these missions, Something's Fishy, Hello from Camp Kidney, Lou and You, Salty Scavenger, Nautical Nonsense, and the False Flapjack. Okay, maybe not those, but Infinite Possibilities, Flapjack, not that one. Spider Monkey, not that one. Lou and You. So we have these missions here. We have a Hello from Camp Kidney, we have Lou and You, and we have Property Brothers. Not that one, but was it? I know there was one with Sticky Beard. Infinite Possibilities, Sticky Beard. There's a mission with Sticky Beard. Oh, there's a nice video right here. Infinite Possibility. I can't find it right now. But I bring this up because possibly, since Flapjack has a nautical theme, and you did a mission with Sticky Beard about sending a message inside of a ship, sending a message inside of a bottle, which later went on to a Flapjack. There might be a potential link between Buttercup and Flapjack and the world with them. So, okay, the Roll of Time Squad, re-show footage of Time Squad capsule. Okay, I already talked about the Roll of Time Squad. And yeah, let's go re-show some footage of the Time Squad capsule. This was 8/11, and I might as well just okay. basic understanding of time. And it's here at Goat's Junkyard. Um, and here, as you can see, this was actually recorded today. Here's Larry 3000 on the floor, and we have this pod that crash landed here inside of the infected zone. And, well, not crash landed. It's not like a meteor that crashes from outer space. From my very basic understanding of Time Squad, it doesn't. It actually just teleports you through space and time. It's not a spaceship, I think. And oh, and it looks like Devin. I just noticed he's watching the live stream. So hello, Devin. Anyways, talk about the quote of Larry 3000, how time travel works. Okay, I talked about that, and let's talk about Time Squad vendor. So 9:30 inside of the video. I'm gonna go mute the mic again. This little hint for the next content update. Now this guy, his name is Time Squad Officer James, and he has this little thing. He's asking, hey, did I get here too early? And we can try and inference that to probably some sort of content update referencing to the Time Squad. Maybe the gang from the Time Squad, Otto, and I don't really know the names that much. So here's another pod here at Hunter's Crest. Hunter's Crest is a level 31 area. It's just this pod right here. And you're probably wondering, like, is there another pod that's located somewhere inside of the game? The answer to that is I don't know. So my Discord server and I. Okay, so I brought that up because I just want to go remind people what these pods look like. So the first one I showed you was found at Goat's Junkyard. You can go there right now, and we have Larry 3000. His head is destroyed, and we have that pod capsule. Now we were kind of thinking, like, did they crash land from their headquarters, or did they travel back in time to our location? And we can probably assume that the time that the pod where's the okay so we were actually kind of discussing where is it, second page, here it is. All right, so I'm not sure if I brought this up in the last live stream, but so we have this photo of the Time Squad headquarters. It's not a headquarters. It's one of the many. Okay, it's not headquarters. It's like, so there's Time Squad. It's like a police agency force, and this is like one of their branches. And this is where Buck and Larry and Otto live. And as you can see here, it looks very similar to the color scheme of the time pods we saw like right here. So I stated here, there's also, interestingly enough, a self-destruct sequence if an absolute emergency is needed. Now, if you go into the wiki, and if you go into the trivia, I'm not exactly sure if this is correct. Yes, the station has a self-destruct mode. Now, it kind of makes you wonder, why did they self-destruct, right? Why? So, like, their building got destroyed. I think a probable reason why they had to go self-destruct is because of Planet Fuse. Planet Fuse is incredibly close to planet Earth, and they didn't want to get destroyed. Probably Fuse sent down some fusion monsters to go attack the ship. So maybe that's why there's pods there. So Coop relocated. Twitter thread. Okay. So another thing that I kind of wanted to go talk about would have to be Coop. And if we just go into the Twitter thread, and it says right here, Coop's a whiz in modifying mechanical junk, and a giant battle mech from the future is no exception. Okay, this is getting really interesting. Coop keeps Megas parked at Goat's junkyard for safety and to hide it from his mom. However, it seems Lord Fuse has a history with the Glorf and made it one of his first targets. Now, a lot of interesting things here. As you can see, he is a whiz at modifying mechanical junk, and he's capable of modifying advanced technology from the future. Now, Time Squad, they come from the year 100 million. I'm not joking. They literally come from the year 100 million. So I'm not exactly sure if Coop is smart enough to deal with that advanced technology, but under the assumption that he could fix Megas, which is from the future, you could probably assume yes, but it would be very difficult to do. Now, this brings me back into the Living Like Larry thread, but at the same time, yeah, okay, let's go there. Let's go talk about that. And also, I said in the live stream, in the last live stream, Coop was relocated. Now we can probably assume here's a legacy GIF of Larry 3000. As you can see, he might be located right there where Coop's original spot was located. But anyways, let's just go talk about Living Like Larry, because this is actually kind of like the main reason why I wanted to go do this, because I did not really fully talk about this. So we have this post from June 30, 2016, posted by Dogon McBanana, and how long have I been live streaming? As you may have read in the news post, Larry is separated from his partners in Goat's junkyard. Okay, assuming like what they did with Dracula, right, where it was an old legacy concept which they implemented inside of Retro, assuming if everything stays the same or 80% the same, we can probably reasonably assume that Larry is going to be placed at Goat's junkyard, hoping to find his friends and understand the current time period he's in. Fortunately, with some help from Coop, Larry is capable of communicating with his partner in time, Buck Tudrussell. Seems as Crash Course sent him. Oh, Crash Course. So they definitely use the emergency button to go land to planet Earth. Seems as Crash Course sent him hurley toward a dark and dangerous environment. Okay, this is getting really interesting. So dark and dangerous, where is that located? The Darklands, right? Now we have that capsule. It's located at Hunter's Crest. And you know what? We have also, interestingly enough, a Twitter thread which was posted on September 11, 2019. Oh no! Wait, no, not that one. Not the Coop one. We have this biography thread that was posted on September 10, 2019. Spawned from the depths of the pit of hate, Domongo the Soul Collector is Aku's most powerful minion. While investigating the Darklands, it seems his powers were confiscated by a fusion Domongo. Aku's greatest plan will have to wait. Now, someone pointed this out. I think it was inside of Discord. Inside of my Discord server. Link is inside of the description. Now, Domongo has been relocated. He's at the entrance before you go inside of the Dark Glade, right? He might be relocated there, and the original spot where Damongo was located, nearby where all those SAC agents were located, that's probably where Buck Todd Russell is going to be located instead. Now, we have reason to assume that Damongo is relocated here is because of the latest tweet where, Peanut Buttercup has been relocated to Candy Cove, or perhaps we're kind of looking into it. But we have reason to believe that Damongo has been relocated and Buck Todd Russell has been implemented inside of Hunter's Crest and is going to replace Damongo's old spot. I'm actually really looking forward to Buck Todd Russell. If I can give an analogy to people who have never watched a single episode of Time Squad, Larry 3000 is like C-3PO from Star Wars, and in fact, C-3PO, this guy right here, C-3PO, his personality was based on C-3PO from Star Wars, and interestingly enough, Mark Hamill was the one who voiced Larry 3000. And for the ones who don't know who Mark Hamill is, he's Luke Skywalker. He's also a very prolific voice actor. Mark Hamill, Time Squad. Yeah. Okay, let's read the rest of this. Seems his crash course sent him hurriedly toward a dark and dangerous environment, so we can probably assume that Buck Todd Russell is going to be a Hunter's Crest, and we can probably also assume that there's probably going to be a level 31 mission within the area, or probably around that range, because one of the things that the developers are trying to do is to make sure there are enough world missions where you no longer have to go bypass that grinding wall at level 29, as well as for level 35. They did a amazing job with a Ben 10 update where they included a variety of missions, which really helped. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. Unfortunately, neither Buck nor Larry are able to reach out to Otto. Only the worst crosses the minds of Otto's time-traveling friends. Only the worst. Okay. Now, in the first live stream, I was talking about my friends and I inside of our Discord server. We were trying to go look for this third potential pod. We went through a whole bunch of areas. Hopefully, it's probably still pinned inside of the Discord server. We went through. We went to. That's really odd. Why is this? Oh, hello. Did someone remove the? Okay, that's very odd. What was I talking about? Yeah. So, anyways, we were searching for this third potential pod. We have the first pod at Goat's Junkyard. We have the second pod at Hunter's Crest, and we were wondering like where is the third pod, because Time Squad they have 3 main characters, and I just realized I forgot to go give that analogy for Buck. So if Larry 3000 is like C-3PO, Buck Todd Russell is kind of like Johnny Bravo. He's strong, he's muscular, he's like a meathead, and he's also a cop. He's not very smart, but he makes up for that with his bronze, or like kind of think of Ed, ED, the one with the green jacket. So we have this drawing, probably from Vert or from the other artists. We have Larry 3000. He's interacting with Coop, and he's also interacting with the Deck Spock. It's probably the one at the entrance for Goat's Junkyard. Now, the majority of Larry's missions involve searching for his lost companion, Otto, and helping Coop out with his mega-sized problem. Okay, This is great. For example, in Automatic Assumptions Part 1 of 3, you can expect to help calm down a hysterical Larry 3000 who dreads the idea of Otto stranded and alone on this infested planet. Hopefully, Larry's new associate, Coop, can take the bulk of that work. So again, just to repeat myself, Larry and Coop will be together. There's going to be missions involved. So Automatic Assumptions Part 1 of 3. That's going to be Part 1, right? He probably crash landed. He crash lands. He tries to go. He realizes that Buckshot Russell and Otto are nowhere to be found. He sees Coop. He asks for his help. Thankfully, Coop is skilled in repairing advanced futuristic gear, so he's gonna be the one to go help him out. Hopefully, Larry's new associate Coop can take the bulk of that work. Now, so that's great. Larry's gonna help him with a mega-sized problem. Yeah. Another potential thing that was kind of mentioned inside of that forum post would have to be the involvement of Dexter and the involvement of Mandark at Tech Square. And we kind of have reason to believe this. Now, earlier in the live stream, I was talking about wormholes and how you had to go send messages across time to Dexter, Mojo Jojo, Double D, and like Ben, or like one of those four, 3 of those 4, and what is it? So Mandark knows how to build a time machine. Dexter knows how to build a time machine. Now, where did they get that inspiration to go to travel to go? Where did they get that inspiration? When they were inside of them, when they were in, it's hard to explain time travel. So where did Dexter get the idea to go build a time machine, right? A potential link would have to be from Larry 3000, because Larry is going to be involved with Dexter or Mandark, and at the end, he's going to teach Dexter, or he's going to lend him a part of his body, or which Dexter can reverse engineer, and thus he unlocks the secrets to time travel, right? And in the last live stream, I was bringing up these mandroids that were dressed up, and potential Time Squad update. There was these mandroids dressed at the back of Dexter's building and wearing this outfit. Maybe it's not related to Time Squad, and maybe there might just be missions, or maybe that there's just nothing at all. But I wouldn't be too surprised if Dexter and Mandark are going to be involved with the Time Squad plot. And this is the way how Dexter has inspiration and the knowledge to create a time machine. Okay, so I already talked about the Dracula mission. I talked about living like Larry. Other pod potential. Okay, already stowed that one. And again, once I do like the edited version of this, I'm going to like speed it up by like 1.5 times, and I'm also going to cut down the parts, such as as what you see right now. Fusion Fall Legacy gameplay 2030. Okay, so let's go there. Here's the mission that I'm talking about. Here's Larry 3000 from 2016, and as you can see right here, we have those missions. We have Automatic Assumptions, and we have One Bad Larry. We have Time Run Amok and Living Like Larry. So as you can see right here, Larry is at Sector V. He's at the very top of Sector V. So probably this is my prediction that during like if the Time Squad if the Time Squad content update arrives, Larry might be placed at the top of Sector V. That's one place to actually look at. That's one of my educated predictions. Now, someone brought this up, and they're kind of objecting that this is not a potential spot Larry is going to be located. Let me go read what they stated. Okay, I think it's at page 4. Turn off. Oh no, I'm the 4th page. Yeah, I was bringing this up. Yeah, so when the Blossom tweet was added, driven, courageous, and never willing to give up, Blossom is the leader of the Powerpuff Girls. Even through the trouble of her sister's disappearance, Blossom's leadership has been instrumental in the war against Fuse. And this guy, Larry 3000, was on top of the Sector V treehouse back in the original gameplay demo video for Legacy. Don't read into this too much. Tomorrow's probably going to be Hex or something. And I stated, with this new tweet, we have further reason to believe that they're going to use an idea they had many years ago. Larry was originally there. Perhaps Blossom will have a brand new mission relating to a suspicious new robot at the top of the tree. We'll finally have a mission where you have a reason to go to the top outside of exploration purposes. And I have a YouTube link here, and I have Larry there. Now, I'm under the assumption that the Larry missions will be around the suburbs level. So level 8 and around level 8 or higher. The Time Squad plot will continue once again once the hero visits the Darklands, particularly Hunter's Crest, or perhaps earlier when you do missions at Tech Square with Dexter. So going directly to what this guy says on why Larry will probably not be at Sector V, he says, I'm absolutely 100% sure that Larry will not be in Sector V, and especially not on top of the treehouse. On top of the treehouse would be the absolutely worst place for an NPC with several missions because of how difficult it is to get up there. Also, we seriously have no need for more Sector V NPCs. We already have 2. Also, may I remind you that we even have level 4 missions to do in the future. That level and area is packed enough. Junkyard only has 1 NPC, Larry's connected to Coop, and we even have a Time Cop fella acting as a vendor there. There should be a zero doubt about where Larry is going to be located. I'm also sure that there was a picture of the Larry NPC hanging out at the junkyard at one point, but I can't seem to find the picture anywhere anymore. I believe the Blossom tweet is a big sneaky thing. The first tweet is connected to Buck, second is related to Larry, and this third one is most likely actually for Otto. However, I do not mean that Otto will be at Sector V, but a reminder that Otto is a missing person. It is possible that Otto will be one of the missing hero holograms at Hero Square. So far, we only have Buttercup on it, so there's room for more. Blossom's connected to the missing heroes case, so it is very possible that one of Larry's mission lines, which is looking for the missing Otto, will take you to Blossom for help. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Blossom is connected to the missing heroes. And, you know, if you remember, if he had Dexter as a guide mission, the core of his missions were related to looking for missing heroes, which started with one of them being Buttercup or Belladonna. And at the very end, you successfully managed to do that. And we actually have a quote here from Devin, September 13, 2019. This was posted 4 days ago. I totally get the suburbs hate. He's responding to Jackson Blythe. He's a friend of mine. And he stated, while I greatly cherish all the effort the devs clearly put in all the updates, I'd like to say one thing only. I wish they stop adding content in the suburbs. The only area that needs any attention in the suburbs is Habitat Homes. I only say this because the suburbs has a chock full of missions already and a lot of NPCs compared to downtown and the wilderness that needs to be filled with more content in order to make it similar in quality to the suburbs. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, it's just that the suburbs are so magical. Once you're out of there, it's really not the same. The amount of NPCs decreases drastically, and I definitely do agree. And now, Devin, I totally get the suburbs hate. We actually plan to fill out later areas, but we're basically trying to nail down additional suburbs content that's meant to go alongside those additions, as well as fill out the content that we feel best fits inside of the suburbs. And yeah, but I understand that you guys are setting up your dominoes, and it starts in the suburbs. So keep up the great work. So they're planting seeds in the suburbs, which will eventually carry out into the wilds, into downtown, as well as for the Darklands. I think that's what Devin is trying to go say. And in response to why there's so many, why there's more suburbs content, even though we definitely don't need any more. Okay, did I finish reading this? I have not. Okay. Of course, as you might expect, Larry 3000 has his very own nano. Larry is a primary nano you can obtain quite a bit later in the game. Longtime fans may notice that we originally had the player obtaining his nano mission from Larry as a secondary nano. As the story and balance have developed, some things have changed. While his powers haven't been totally finalized quite yet, you can imagine he will be an incredible addition to your team. And in the last live stream, we were kind of speculating what kind of powers he was, and I was stating that if there is going to be a Larry 3000 nano inside of this update, it's unlikely to very unlikely, but not 100% eliminated. And let me just show you the video again. This is post 2016. I bring this up often on my channel, especially for a picture of the day. And interestingly enough, there's rain in the background. This appears to be Goat's junkyard, judging by the building. And so they definitely had plans for Larry 3000 for a very long time. He's going to be located at Goat's junkyard, much more so than Sector V. Look at the drawing. Okay, so this goes back into the thread, and Devin was stating, I think it was inside of the first page. He was talking about where is it? Okay, here it is. Kind of related to this, the time squad vehicle, the one with Larry's head inside, the model used for Larry's head is Nano Larry, so they've been slowly injecting Time Squad assets into the game, so an update centered around this magnificent show is a very high possibility. Oh, this is not related to the Nano, but it's still interesting nonetheless. Funny enough, the head in the Time Cop Cruiser takes its model from the dismantled Larry in the junkyard next to a Time Pod, though I can definitely see where people may think otherwise. Okay, where is it? Control F, Devin. He stated that they have no plans for like a Larry 3000 nano, at least for this Time Squad update. Devin, here it is. Yeah. Here's the context. There were 20 nanos added after the Academy update. Finn, Rex, a bunch of these. 21 if the unstable nano counts as a full nano itself. I can't wait to see these guys return. The game will probably be as lively as it was when it first came out, at least for a while. I have a couple of questions though. How do you think these nanos would be implemented? Codes, missions, etc. And do you think we'd ever get unreleased or even original nanos that were inside of the old game? Though we currently have no plans to add nanos, they would accompany new levels, areas, NPCs, etc. So in other words, that's as simple as you can get. That this Time Squad update, it's not going to have a Larry 3000 nano, and if it does, wow, that is another significant milestone for the team of Fusion Fall Retro. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a, maybe I can go show it. Larry 3000 dancing, potential dance move, show the footage. I have to go to Kiss Cartoon for that, and let's just go there. Kiss Cartoon Time Squad, and I can't This is where my Discord server and I watched the show. I can't show it because of the advertisements there. But it's the one with Julius Caesar, and it's really interesting because it actually shows Larry 3000 dancing, and they could probably use that as an inspiration for as one of Larry's dance moves. Yeah, I already showed you the Larry 3000 movement, which is the one right here. They've had this model designed for a very long time now, and it honestly does make you kind of wonder if they're gonna go update this. Now, something that you can also pay attention to would have to be his red buttons. They're actually lighting up as he moves, and also his mouth is also lighting up as well. So that's interesting. Okay, Johnny Bravo will be involved. 5705. $5705.
Is also going to be relocated somewhere here at Area 51 and a half or somewhere at the coast. The link here is that Johnny Bravo and Flapjack are going to have some sort of interlinked missions with each other. Maybe that Flapjack is also going to be relocated somewhere here at Area 51 and a half or somewhere at the coast of like Candy Cove or like Forsaken Valley, somewhere around there, or like Orchid Bay or Bravo Beach. So they're gonna have some sort of inter.
So from the previous patch notes, it stated here, Johnny Bravo has gone missing. He was last spotted swimming off the coast in range of an old-timey wooden pirate ship. If anyone has any information, please immediately report to the proper authorities, whoever they're supposed to be. Oh. Proper authorities. Maybe this is overanalyzing it, but Time Squad, they're an authority. They're basically time cops, right? Maybe Johnny Bravo is going to be linked with Larry 3000. And it might be related to the captain or Peanut Buttercup. Now, what's interesting here, and just going back into the Twitter thread, so we have pirates. Buttercup is now a pirate. This is the captain of the Sweet Revenge. So probably a potential thing is that Buttercup actually was the one who captured Johnny Bravo. That would be very interesting to go see. Let's see. And 5850. Okay, 5850.
Where you had to go. So there's you see these assets, right? Let me just pause. We have this ship here, right? So if Johnny Bravo were to return from if Johnny Bravo were to return, we can probably expect to go see these existing assets from that Johnny Bravo mission to to be reused again. This ship is probably be reused. I wouldn't be surprised if this infected zone were to also be reused as well. I mean, and I wouldn't be surprised if this stuff that we see here will also be reused, and we might get to battle fusion bubbles again, and again we might even have a Johnny Bravo nano. But again, that's the nano part is a stretch, but it's in the realm of possibility. It's not very unlikely, but it is unlikely that he is going to appear. See,
Oh wow, so this is definitely going to be much more than an hour long. So it took an hour to go read this list of stuff. Now I know that I actually talked about I went to the forums, right, and sprinkled it into this live stream. So now the final part of this live stream is to just go into the forums, look into the thread, and see some other speculations that could potentially be inside of this update. So, okay. Now this, it's just a summary from like the last live stream, or the a majority of it. A potential fusion we have to combat might have to be Buck Todd Russell. This was a drawing that Devin did, I think, way back in 2012 when he was learning how to draw, and yeah, we might get to go see a fusion Todd Russell, or a fusion Larry 3000, or a fusion Otto. Now I think it might be Todd Russell because he's clearly the strongest one of them. Here's Larry 3000. Here's, let's see. Okay. Now I'm just gonna quickly read this to go see if there's anything interesting. So what they're trying to say here is that when you're inside of the future, or when you're inside of the time machine area, the head that you see will actually be replaced. Okay, so the most reoccurring characters would be Buck's ex-wife, Ciela Sternwell, and her robotic partner XJ5. Now, I think they reappeared 3, 4, or 5 times inside of the show. So, Ciela Sternwell is actually Buck Todd Russell's former wife, and she appeared in Kubla Khan, as well as Nobel Peace Surprise, and X marks the spot, and as you can see, she's from the year 100 and 100 million. So a potential, though unlikely, is that she's going to be inside of the game. I don't think that's going to happen. Another one would have to be her partner XJ5, which is a much more, well, not upgraded. It's a different type of robot, and they're a lot more professional. Sheila and XJ5 are a lot more professional when you compare and contrast them with Larry, Otto, and Buck, where they're constantly messing up time. It doesn't. They're a lot better. Okay, I already talked about the rope thing. Yes, those pods that showed at the front never appeared in the show. In Time Squad, you don't crash land, you teleport across time and land wherever you go. And earlier in the live stream I was talking about, so I disagree with the statement now. I think what's going to happen is that they are the time pod capsules from the Time Squad. According to Living Like Larry Legacy devlog, the satellite was teleported right into the path of fused forces in space in the present and was destroyed with Larry, Buck, and Otto escaping in their own escape pods to Earth. Oh, I didn't know that. So we have the thread right here. Satellite. Sat to light. No, I don't think it was mentioned inside of this. if you hadn't read the news posted on Larry, check it out here. And it leads you to here, not not that one. Yes. Yeah, so after binge watching all of the Time Squad episodes, a large chunk of the show is based during the American Revolution. It's actually kind of like one of the bigger criticisms I had with the show because, again, you have 100 million years plus of human history to explore, and yet you keep going back to the American Revolution. There's an area in history that the team often goes to and is responsible for like 25% of the episodes. There might be potential references to this. And yeah, I would kill for some revolutionary gear. A person that I know, his name is Tan. He designed some outfits on the Calling All Designers thread, which was inspired by revolutionary gear. Okay. Well, it can actually be disassembled in the junkyard infected zone now, and will probably be rebuilt by Coop in a future update. So if the timeline continues from that point, but with the hero losing the fuse, then in the future, where Coop has disappeared, of Fallen having Larry's... here's a outfit that Tan made. There's another one, but for some reason, it didn't appear inside of the post. So it'd be really cool if you can have this. I would definitely like this outfit as well. I would wear that if there was like a green version. Okay, I already talked about him being blown up. Yeah, so we have Larry being blown up, and we talked about Coop, who is like a genius when it comes to repairing stuff. Now, something that if you watch the Time Squad episodes, okay. As a person who recently watched Time Squad, what's interesting to note here is that the team outside of Otto are from the year 100 million. Larry is from that time and originally served as a diplomat for political affairs. Anyway, in season 1, when the Time Squad visited Napoleonic France, Larry's head was decapitated. However, as a robot, he didn't die. He just put his head back on as it was nothing. I bring this up because although Larry is destroyed, he is capable of being rebuilt. And not just that, he's capable of being rebuilt by himself. There's also another funny episode where Larry decides to build his own robots and eventually has an entire city of himself. This shows that Larry doesn't need his original parts, he only needs his consciousness to be intact and the rest of his body can be replaced. Again, there's those updated looks of the Mandroids behind Dexter's lab at Tech Square. They might play a role within this next update. Okay, I talked about that. Okay, page 3. And here's Ness agreeing with Fox Feed that Larry is unlikely going to be at Sector V. Yeah, Larry was only ever there for the purposes of the demo anyway, since they got to show off the bounce pad and whatnot through his location. Heck, that demo was after the original Living Like Larry dev blog that talked about his role in the junkyard. Yeah, this did not age well. It is likely that the next update will come out tonight or anyway tomorrow. That did not happen. Certainly at the end of the Bubbles Art Club. Okay, here's another kind of over analyzing this one. You know, I got something the same feelings too. I might be reading this too much into, but this all started somewhere around the time they posted this post. If you look carefully and read too much into this, you'll realize that from right to left, okay, right to left, it's sequential order by which things are going. So right to left, right girl representing Bubbles Art Club, which was the first thing that was announced. A center guy representing Time Squad with the shorts. And the left girl representing a new addition to the Clockwork sets. I don't know, Digital Clockwork, giving a guess here. And lastly, the background, Goat's Junkyard, where the first mysterious Pod and Larry appeared. Coincidence? I think not. So again, there's a whole bunch of places where they can take this photo. So why did they go inside of an infected zone and go to Goat's Junkyard where Larry's severed head is there with the escape pod? And why is this guy wearing Time Squad shorts, you know? But it's kind of more like really kind of like reading into this too much. But I am really excited for the green Clockwork set. I kind of want to go plug in my thread here, recoloring items. I made a recolor for the green Clockwork many months ago, and it's taking a long time to load because there's like dozens of recolors here. The first one that I actually predicted was literally the very first recolor that I did, which was the red Clockwork, which came out during the Infected Zone Racing update. Here's a photo with Devin, and yeah, here's the Twitter post, and here's the recolor of this one. They even kind of really got the color shade of the outfit right, so I'm really happy that it's going to be there, and it's definitely going to be like my main outfit once it comes out. It's a long saw, but what if the Time Squad update blends with the Ben 10 update, more so when the alien from Clockwork being released from the Omnitrix as a Chrono Sapien who can manipulate and travel through time, he could fit into the whole time travel theme as well. Or if not Clockwork, maybe Eon or Professor Paradox. They are both time travels who could make for interesting character interactions with the Time Squad members. So this is a good question. Now, I think it's unlikely that they're going to that we're gonna have another Ben 10 update, if not like a minor Ben 10 update, because we just had one. But this is something that a lot of people would want. Now, for the ones that don't know who Clockwork is, Clockwork is an alien from Ben 10. Clockwork, I'm not sure if that's his actual name. Yes, it is Clockwork, and he is a Chrono Sapien, and he's responsible for. And his powers is to slow down time around himself, making it look like the Clockwork is moving at very high speeds. He can slow down time. Clockwork can also travel through time. So that's pretty cool. Another potential thing that he stated would have to be the introduction of Eon or Professor Paradox. Now, I think I discussed this in the last live stream about Professor Paradox, and I think it's unlikely that he's going to be involved. Now, it makes sense because Professor Paradox, his power is to go anywhere in space and time, but considering we already have the Time Squad, it's unlikely. But I wouldn't be surprised. And I brought this up again in the last live stream, where if Professor Paradox does come in, maybe they can use that as a way to go bring in the younger classic Ben 10 inside of the game, and probably therefore have the Ben 10 Nano, the younger Ben 10 Nano. What I want to know is what Time Squad Protocol says about Samurai Jack. Would they be sympathetic to his plight and want to assist him in returning home? That's a good question. Even if Jack refuses to, as long as there's still people in need, or would they be apathetic to his temporal troubles and consider Aku's cheap trick a fair game? And the CT Kyra, I remember her. I think she was one of the mods at Fusion Fall Central during the free-to-play era of the original Fusion Fall. Interesting idea. My opinion on this is that they're most likely indifferent because it was done through magic. Or maybe they already know Jack will return to his time on his own, so they leave him to his business so that they don't damage the timeline. I kind of want to go respond to this one right here. They already know Jack will return to his time on his own. The answer to that is no. They don't know that he's going to actually succeed in the future, because the whole point of Otto, the third main character, who is the history genius of the team, is to inform Larry and Buck of what to do. So if they go back in time and they see Albert Einstein, they don't know who Albert Einstein is, right? And it's up to Otto to go tell them that Albert Einstein is actually a world-renowned physicist, right? And because it was done through magic. And just going back with Samurai Jack, one of the first 5 episodes, if you don't include like the movie, would have to be that Samurai Jack went into space, and it was actually really remarkable. And there's an outfit for Samurai Jack as a guide item. I think it's given by Dexter. Let me go show you that item. Okay, extensions to the guide. 2:21 in the morning. I don't expect people to be online right now. Guide items, and I've been working on the grindable uncommons a lot lately. I've added hundreds and hundreds of items. Okay, where is that outfit? Yeah, we have the Space Jack jetpack. This one right here. If I can go into my recolor thread, recoloring items, put down like the Leviathan. Not that one. That is a cool one. This is what the outfit looks like, the Space Jack one. That's really cool. And I bring this up because at the end he went into outer space with a bunch of scientists, and they proposed that they can actually create a portal in time for him to return. Unfortunately, he did not make it. So yeah. Okay, so that's the end of this live stream. I talked about pretty much everything that I wanted to go talk about, and I'm really happy that I did this. And for the ones that are kind of wondering what I'm wearing, it's actually this shirt that says what is it? Otaku. And my older brother gave this to me about 2 years ago. Maybe you can go pause the live stream. A person who is obsessed with anime, you can't read it from video games or computers, and I have to go do this. There we go. Let me go move the mic. A person who is obsessed with anime, video games, or computers, and rarely leaves the house to the detriment of their social skills. My brother gave this to me 2 years ago. I think it was like for a Christmas gift, and which is kind of ironic because I don't really watch a lot of anime. If anything, I watch 2 animes a year, and yeah. But I do love video games. But ironically enough, I only play 2 video games. This game, Fusion Fall, and the other one, which is a mobile game for Marvel. And currently, I guess the third one is Left 4 Dead 2. But yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. I have this entire live stream recorded. Let me go. I have this entire live stream recorded, and what I'm gonna do is after the live stream, I'm gonna go edit it, do some basic editing, and try and make it like 15 to 20 minutes long, so other people can watch it. So yeah, anyways, yeah, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, please subscribe, please join the Discord server, check out the Universal Item Guide, And yeah, it was a pleasure live streaming to you. And I will see you next time. Bye.